Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, the video today is on this Land Rover Freelander 2 SD4 with the 2.2 diesel engine, and I'm just gonna record the start of this today, the kind of introduction of what the problem is, etc. Because the one we're gonna work next is actually that Ford Galaxy in there. But I'm moving the cars about. The tow run is just about to be picked up, and I'm moving the cars around. And while I was moving this one, I just thought I'll go and have a look, and I've seen something, and anyway, I'll take you through. So the complaint with this car is literally a noise that comes when you start to drive. Now I went just at the end of the road, came back, and the noise is something that I've never heard before on a car, so I don't have a clue what it is. I haven't even opened the bonnet, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go for a quick drive. I'm going to try somehow put the camera outside, see if the camera captures the noise, and we'll go from there. So let's go. Okay, let me get on the road, and then I will show you what the noise is. Okay, I'm here in these back roads, as you can see. Right, there's nothing behind me, there's nothing in front, there's nothing on the sides. Right, let's go. So I'm gonna put the phone outside, and basically to come up to here is literally about 200 meters from my house. And what I've done is I've accelerated slowly to gain speed, to see if it's speed related. It doesn't look like it's speed related, it looks like it's engine speed related, so RPMs. So I'm going to show you. So basically I managed to get to about 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, and I accelerated slowly, and it gained speed without making the noise. As soon as I accelerate a little bit harder, it makes the noise. So I'm going to put the phone outside, and I really hope it comes on camera, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit difficult to explain you the noise. But let's gonna do it. I'm gonna make the noise. I go up to that, well, maybe a little bit more, to the end of this stretch, and I'm going to make the noise come up a few times. So just bear in mind that it's going to be a little bit of a few seconds now from here to the end of the road. I'm going to try to make this to happen as many times as possible. See if we can figure out what is this. So let's go. Okay, obviously I don't have a clue how that comes on camera because I haven't watched the footage yet. I really hope you hear it. It looks like it starts to come through when we reach close to 2000 RPMs. So at this moment, I think, and I might be wrong, to me it looks like boost related. So it looks like it's when the boost starts to build, that's when it starts to do it. That's why it looks to me. I might be wrong. So we're gonna have to drive back home. Again, I'm not gonna work on it today. The Galaxy is first, but at least we've done a little bit today, and so we can carry on next to see where this is coming from. But it really looks like boost related, and definitely a noise that I never heard before on the car. But yeah, that's the noise. Hope it came through on camera. Okay, I just got back home and I thought it was important to mention this as well. Is that stationary, if I rev it, it does it, but it's slightly different the way it does it. So let me show you. Yeah, he only does it a little bit, and you really need to rev it really high, and it does it more at about 2,500 RPMs, and it's not as loud. And I believe it's because the car is stationary, it's not under load, so obviously the turbo is not gonna make all that boost, I think. That's my theory, but yeah, I just thought it would worth to mention this before I forget, and then people will start to comment. So yeah, so that's, I think, is important as well to mention. Okay, following day, and yesterday after I got home from testing the Galaxy, which is right there at the back, ready to be picked up, I put this straight back on the same ramps, and I dig a little bit. It was already dark, so I didn't record anything, but I went underneath and I did a quick inspection on the intake system. So after the turbo, I had the bonnet open, checked the top, and then I went underneath and I checked the underside, and I think I found the issue. So I'm going to show you what I think the issue is, and maybe my approach is a little bit biased, because to me it really sounds like the issue is the boost, is when the car builds boost. So maybe I'm biased in thinking that is the issue, but I'm quite convinced it is, and I will show you. Initially I thought it was a possibility. This was before I drove it, and I thought it would be maybe, you know, maybe a bearing, the idler, the tensioner, sorry, or the idler, whatever you call it, or maybe a component, maybe the AC pump or the alternator. Interestingly enough, speaking about the alternator, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it from here. No, you can't, but the alternator is brand new. I mean, it's relatively new. I'm not saying it's new, but it is definitely relatively new. So don't know if that was changed already thinking that was the issue, or if it had a problem and was replaced. But I'll show you that is new anyway in a second. But I want to go under the car and I'll show you what I think the problem is. Okay, as I was saying, you can see in there the alternator is relatively new compared with the rest, so it's definitely been replaced. Not sure if that was, again, if that was thinking this would be the problem, or maybe the alternator had genuinely a issue. Now, as I was following the pipe for the boost, so the pipe is this, oh dear, let me actually, I need to adjust the phone, hold on, the support, so I can show you everything properly. That's better. Okay, so the boost, so the turbo, so the air comes out from the turbo, this orange pipe comes through there, through here, and straight away I've seen that this bracket there is broken, as you can see there. So it's broken in there, so this is all, you can see there is broken, the bracket, it might need welding. And then it goes into the intercooler at that end, and comes all the way out of the intercooler right there, right at the top. Don't know if you can see, right there at the top, but can you see that marking there to start with? Let me show you this. See that in there? So it looks like this pipe has been revving here. Oh dear. To be fair with you, I actually missed that yesterday. Let me see if that's gone through. It doesn't look like. I actually missed it. Just seen it now. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's gone through. It looks like it's just superficial. But we're gonna take these off anyway. But the fact, I don't know how I missed this yesterday, to be fair with you. But the fact that this pipe has this mark here that mainly that's been rubbing against this AC pulley. That supports even more my theory, and I'm going to show you exactly what my theory is. You can't really see it too much from on the side, but you might be able to see a little bit. Can you see all that oil in there? See if I can get the light. It's a little bit difficult. All that oil in there on the outfeed of the intercooler where the pipe goes into. And now, oh, this is difficult. Now, when I come here, you can see the signs that this thing had an impact. So, something had an impact here. Okay, you can see this all broken, here broken. You can see here some marks. So these had an impact here somewhere. Somehow, you can see all broken here. And then this is a little bit wobbly. And look in there. Look at the outside outfeed of this intercooler. Is oil everywhere. So to me, looks like the impact has cracked this intercooler somewhere, and that's where it's leaking. That's where the noise is coming from. Which means when the impact happened, it pushed everything backwards, and that hose went against the pulley. So it supports even more my theory. I haven't seen that mark yesterday, but definitely I've seen this oil around here. So next step, guys, no further ado, is remove this bumper and see what we find. Okay, and in the meantime, we found another issue. I don't know why, but it looks like these were strapped somewhere in that screw. Oh, sorry guys, in that screw in there that someone put. And now that I pulled it out, it just, you can see this is, it's not just happened. You can see that. Looks like this was screwed in there, and now that I took it off, it just starts to leak. Okay, so now makes more sense. So the screw's in there. So that screw that you see right there at the back, oh, right there, and there's another one right there. It's the screws for the number plate. But obviously the hose runs right through here, and obviously whoever did it just screwed right in there. But obviously the screw was kind of, at the same time as was going through this, was actually stop it from leaking. And that one's the same, as you can see in there. And focus. See? So we're gonna have to cut this and put some joints in there to make it to stop leaking. But at the moment, how are we gonna get to this thing? Right, let me move these out of the way. You definitely, I'm hope it's leaking here. It really looks like it is. We're gonna have to I'm hoping I'm not barking at the wrong tree. Really hope. I should have done a smoke test. That's what I should have done. Yes, I know. It looks like I was wrong. Look at that. I know this is not the best apparatus, but when you don't have what is needed, you improvise. So, turn this off. So, as you can see, I've sealed this. I'm putting pressure in there with the compressor, and look at that. Woo! Right, it's been like this for the last 3 or 4 minutes. If was any significant leak, I think would be seen by now. Yeah, I don't see any leaks, and right, unless it's really under pressure. I don't know how much pressure I have in there at the moment. I could try to see how much pressure I can put in there. Just hold on a second, see if I can. Okay, I'm about 1.5 bars. Just be careful because the compressor might gonna kick in. But 1.5 bars. This is even a worse setup. I do have a little bit of a leak here, but doesn't really matter because my concern would be over here. There is a tiny leak now over here, but down here there's nothing around this area. There's no leaks whatsoever. So there's no leaks whatsoever. So whoops. So I can't feel any leaks. Let me turn it off. So there is a tiny leak here with the pressure when it gets to about the 1.5 bars. Wow! Look at that! Look at that! Right, so there is no leaks on this thing, and I'm so peed off that I've made the wrong call. So I've been through all this work. Well, we're gonna fix the jets for the headlights. Anyway, so it looks like there is no leaks here. You can definitely see that this thing is bent, so you can't deny that. So when the impact happened here, whatever that was, it cracked the thing, as you can see there, look. And here is just a tiny crack in there, but here definitely is cracked and is moved. You can see it's not even, see, it moved completely. Let me actually take this off. Oh man, I need to get one of those things to block this stuff. On this side, it's not as bad. I just don't know where this oil is coming from. It looks like it's coming from there, by the looks of it then, but it's definitely bent. You can't deny that. Look at that. It's definitely bent. You can see it a little bit more on the top, there. So, but there's no leaks. There is no leaks. I can't blame that. Doesn't seem to be leaking. So let's gonna see if we find something else. Damn it! Oh crap! All this work, literally, for nothing. Right, I definitely should have done a smoke test. Damn it. Anyway, I found the issue, guys, and I didn't really notice until now. So obviously this thing here, it definitely didn't go through yet, as you can probably see. It is closed, but it didn't go through. But then I didn't realize this here at the front, it doesn't belong here. When I looked inside, that's why you have all this oil here inside. Can you see that? Probably can't. Look, see that? It looks like someone tried to repair this pipe. Let's kind of pull this. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can show you this. Crap. Pull this out. We're gonna find that this had originally, there we go, it had originally a split, okay, and that this has failed and was leaking again through there. Someone put some crap inside. Look, someone put some plastic inside. Can you see that? I don't know what that is. Yeah, these bits could start to come off and go through the turbo, into the engine. But definitely was here. This was broken, and I'm afraid it was just more of the front. But here I will have a chance to reuse this. I could have cut it at the back and then just push it a little bit. It's going to be possible, but it's already damaged here at the back as well. So there's a weak point here as well. Might be better just to try to get another one. Now I'm gonna ring. Oh, there's a part number here. I'm gonna ring Land Rover and see if they have these in stock. Maybe, or ring the guy first. Well, I'll see how much it costs new first, just in case if they have it, if the guy wants a new one, and we'll go from there. Right, don't laugh and don't ask. I'm sure you can imagine why I had to do this. Okay, so what I've done, I've cut the pipe here right where the crack was. So where that split was, I've cut it all the way around, pushed it all the way in, as you've seen. It went all the way in and it's proper secured, it's not going to go anywhere. And then the ring that was left, so the bit of pipe that was left from here, I put it right there where that sort of rubbing area was. Again, and I repeat to myself, that didn't gone through yet, and it was not that deep, it was just getting to the first layer of fiber inside. But I put it around here, and I put these two Jubilee clips. The whole idea of this is to prevent the pipe from expanding in this area. So if it stops the pipe from expanding in this area, hopefully that sort of weak area where that was worn a little bit, it will not start to sort of split. So I tied it a little bit, as you can probably see by looking like that. So it's a little bit tight, so it shouldn't go anywhere. And I already tested it. The pipe doesn't rub anywhere, even though obviously here is now is a little bit shorter, so this bend should be further up a little bit because the pipe was a little bit longer, but it still roots okay in the car. It doesn't touch anywhere. So, and again, don't ask, we're going to put this back and give it a try. Okay, so the intercooler is all back in place. All the Jubilee clips are tied up, so as you can see, if I show you there, you can see that there is, I'm going to show you, there is really, it's just about to touch. This, to be fair, is supposed to be there because there's a plastic pin that's supposed to come through this rubber garment. So if I pull this back, then the hose will be touching the frame, but that was already broken when whatever happens on the car, so this was already pushed back the way it is. So I just kind of left, same with that one in there, as you can see. So yeah, this is supposed to be forward, but that's where it was, that's where it's going to stay. But before I start to assemble everything, what we're going to do is I'm going to start the car and let it to warm up, and I'm going to give it a few revs. If you remember yesterday when I was revving it up right there, just stationary, just revving it up, I could hear the noise. It was more difficult to make the noise to be as noticeable as when you were driving, but obviously the car was not under load, so it's just revving it up, so it never builds so much pressure, I think, and that's why the noise was not so noticeable. But we're going to still do it just to see if I can hear anything. If I can't hear anything, then we're going to put everything back on. Just also another quick thing is, to be fair with you, I was saying I went through all this work to take the bumper off, etc. To be fair with you, if I was to replace the pipe alone, I could probably have done that without taking the bumper, although it would have been extremely difficult to get to this Jubilee clip here at the front, but it was probably doable. But to do what I've done, definitely I would have to take everything off. It was nearly impossible to do, or it was very difficult to do without removing the bumper and all this good stuff. Also, I rang Land Rover. They do have this pipe actually in stock, but it's the pipe from here all the way up to the throttle body, and they want about £120 plus VAT. So that's why we did what we have done, and again, don't ask. That's what it is. So let's gonna start this thing, let it warm up, then give it a few revs and see what happens. Okay guys, and while the thing was warming up, I already fixed the hose. I will explain to you in a minute how I did it, but in the meantime I'm just going to put the phone here somewhere and I'm going to give it a few revs, although I already done it. Hold on a minute. So I'm going to rev the engine, and you guys are going to see that there is no noises. As you have seen, was no noises. You would definitely, I would have definitely hear it. Obviously, we're gonna go then for a test drive later on. In the meantime, while it was warming up, I fixed this. So the way I've done it is I use these tiny bits of pipe, okay. And what I do is I put a little bit of super glue around here, and I put it on one side of the hose, and then about halfway through, and then I put glue on this side and I push the other one in. So as you can see, that's the end result. Okay, on both places. Okay, so it's all ready. Now what we're going to do, guys, with no further ado, is just put everything back on, bumper, etc., wheels back on, so we can then go for a proper test drive, make sure it's okay. Okay, just need to tie the wheels up, tighten the wheels, and everything else is in place. So the mud flap in there, as you can see, there's one in there. There's nothing on that side, was already missing, and it looks like someone has already been having the same idea as I had. If you look in there, I'm not sure what that hose is. Look how many. Oh, look at that. That's a lot of Jubilee clips. I'm not sure why that was done. Either way, doesn't really matter for now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie the wheels, clean all the mess, then we're going to go for a test drive and hopefully confirm that this is fixed. Okay, and now we are going to quickly go for a test drive and see how things are. And yeah, let's gonna see if this is fixed and wrap up this thing. Okay, back on these fields again. Okay, I already know, I already seen it. So let me put the phone as we did last time. I have not even watched the video when I showed you the noise, so I don't even know if you're going to see a difference, but hopefully you will. So anyway, that's gonna go. Okay guys, and I don't know if it makes a difference from the first video when I showed you the noise. I really hope it does, but the noise is definitely gone, and indeed was just a boost leak in that hose that we kind of reused. Ideally would have been a new hose. They costed about 20 quid on eBay, but that's it. That's what it is. Yeah, that school car was just going to the side of the road. He thought I wanted to pass and there was no room. Right, anyway, so that's it for this video guys. So in the end, that's what it was, and that's it. We're going to wrap up this here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information you guys can find useful. If you do still have any questions, any comments guys, please, you know how it works, put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.